The two most important things in life. Never rat on your friends and keep your fucking mouth shut.
I'm on my way from misery to happiness today.
Good morning. It is 4 in the
2
afternoon.
p.m.
Welcome to the Rubber Room.
Welcome.
That's where we are right now. First, my name is Alex.
And I'm Lucy.
So let's get that out of the way.
I think just giving a little background, we came to this idea because one of our many topics of conversation is mental health. So separate. You can't live your life and also be checked in on. You know what I mean? Like there's no way where you can control, hey, I'm gonna go take a little break. I'm gonna go to a rubber room. I just need a day.
Yep.
I need 2 days. However long you need.
And I'll be back.
But I'll be back and I have control over that.
Yes. It's a fucking rat. One of my fears is being placed into a mental institution and like not being crazy or like I don't know.
I know that.
You know,
that, yeah.
Not being crazy and you're telling them like, no, I'm not supposed to be here. You know, you go to the hospital for a broken knee. I should be able to go to a hospital for a problem that I'm having mentally.
You get a physical every year, but why don't we get a mental? So no head.
So no head.
So no head.
And that's why the name of this show is Rubber Room, because I want a rubber room.
Correct.
And it needs to be destigmatized. It shouldn't be offensive to say like she needs a rubber room. It should be like she needs a rubber room.
Listen, if you're thinking about a rubber room, and play this with us at home. Interact with us here.
Write it down.
Write it down.
Make a mood board about it, maybe.
Pinterest board.
Pinterest
even.
board your ideal rubber room.
Destigmatize
Tag me
using-
in that.
Destigmatize using a Pinterest board. Describe to me your ideal rubber room.
Okay. So, I think the rubber room should be personalized to everybody. It shouldn't just be you're in a straitjacket and you get tossed into a rubber room so you don't hurt yourself.
Correct.
It should be whatever you want it to be. Now, when I close my eyes and I think of my perfect rubber room, it's made out of like what a bouncy house is made out of, but it's like covered in like a nicer fabric. It's not like the plastic.
Mm-hmm.
And I would think maybe like a fuzzy material or like a velvet, but I definitely wanted to have like the bumps with like the stitching in between each.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And are you bound? Like when you walk in,
there's a bounce to it. There's definitely a bounce to it.
Okay.
Solid floor. Like
That's
know.
intimidating.
That's intimidating. I want to be like on a cloud almost. I want to feel on a cloud. Color wise, sage green.
That's nice.
And it's no overhead lighting.
No.
Fairy lights, little candles burning.
Even this, too much.
This is for the sake of television, but personally I don't like it.
And like string lights, lamps, candles.
It's kind of small because I like to feel like cozy and like in a confined space. Too big is just like overwhelming. Like I don't want it to feel like a warehouse. It just needs to be just enough space. Definitely like a projector vibe with like a movie playing that takes up the whole wall.
Nice.
I definitely want like a dip in the floor. Like there's a pit maybe.
With like balcony ticket. I was like, no, like I finna be in the pit.
Like almost like a waterbed or like memory foam where it just like
Or like you know when like in movies like when they filmed The Grinch and they had to like take a body cast of like Jim Carrey's body. For my whole body, and then I want that in the floor so I can just perfectly slide into it.
Where are you picturing this? I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. It could be in your home.
I would say ideally in my home, but maybe like a little separate from the home. Like maybe it's like a shed in the back.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Because also one thing about me is it can't be too good because I will never leave. But hey, maybe if I knew I had the rubber room accessible all the time. It wouldn't
Yes.
feel like I had to stay and hold on to it forever.
Yes.
It'd be like, oh, I just know in a couple days I can come on back here and do it all over again.
Little she shed.
Did you burn down my she shed?
Is that Jake from State Farm? No. Geico?
It's one of the insurance ones.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with insurance commercials. They make too much of a story that it's like, I don't remember what you're selling and who you are. I just
Who
remember
are
the she
you?
shed that burned down. And what does that do? I'm not going to pick an insurance company because of that.
Exactly. And why are we gendering sheds?
Yes. How about a rubber room? I'll tell you that's not fucking...
Gender inclusive.
Gender inclusive is a goddamn rubber room. Be whoever the fuck you want and get in there.
Maybe having like a mental health check-in every day so that it's not like,
Oh,
you could
someone's
just
got to
wake
come
up
check.
forever.
Someone's got to come check on me.
Like maybe you just fill out a little survey, or you just do like, maybe there's a little game you could play just to like check in on how you're feeling.
Yeah, or like a Zoom call with a therapist.
Yeah, maybe.
Because
Maybe
that's
we
also
include that.
something. We're not professionals.
We're actually starting a cult.
Yeah.
Comment down below if you would comment your name.
No
number,
modern medicine.
social
No modern
security
medicine.
no modern medicine.
Just rubber room. Okay, so that's my rubber room, and what I think I would need just to chill and to give me a little reset. Now, yours.
Back to you. Hold on, let me. Physically, it needs to be like a sizable room, so I don't feel, because I do have a claustrophobia fear. My ideal room would be similar, I think, in the sense of like it would all be padded, obviously, but I don't know that I want bouncy. I want more like picture we're in England. I've got John, Paul, George, and Ringo knocking at my door. I'm welcoming them into my conversation pit.
Okay.
And my conversation pit is my rubber room. It does have the stitching.
The stitching, and it's kind of just like.
What is that called?
I don't know.
No.
And you know when people name their kid Guy?
Guy Fieri.
The men around the world named Guy are lucky that guy exists because
otherwise there's no saving.
yeah, exactly. It's like, well, I named it for Guy Fieri. It's like, all right, low key, cool.
Okay.
Before Guy Fieri was kind of just like, that's your name?
So now it's a flex to be named Guy.
Yeah, it is. It went from here to.
I don't want like a full form to my body in the same way that Steve Buscemi is the name that came to my head. Take me to the rubber room, man. I'm done with this shit.
Steve Buscemi. Can we talk about him real quick?
He was hot.
But he wasn't like hot. Like,
No.
you're like, oh, like he was good looking.
Yeah.
And now he's heinous.
But he's got just a little. He's got a little.
Still?
I think he does. Anyways, I meant Jim Carrey. I meant Jim Carrey.
Wait, yeah. I don't know why Drew Carey came into my mind. That's the
See?
Price is Right.
Yeah.
Ex-fiance was killed.
How? Drew.
Oh, she was found unresponsive beneath a third-story balcony at her home.
Jesus.
She was murdered!
She was murdered?
Restraining order she took out expired. One thing about a restraining order is it doesn't stop anybody.
Yeah. Goodbye, Earl. Case in point. What?
She was thrown. You know what's crazy is like he respected the restraining, like he waited for the restraining order to run out to
Yeah.
murder someone as if it was like,
As if that's
if you know what I'm saying, if you're gonna kill someone, it was like you could break other laws at that point because it's like you're done.
Get off scot-free.
You know what I'm saying? It's like if you're gonna murder someone, you could speed over there because it's like, oh, what, you're gonna get a speeding ticket? Okay, you're committing murder.
We should have a Drew Carey episode. Next episode, Drew Carey.
Bring him on.
Bring him in here.
Because it sounds like he's been through a lot and he might.
Maybe we should.
Need a rubber
The style of the show should be like, what was that show back in the day where it's like, and guess what? She's here. Bring out an.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Where it's like you're like talking shit about your mom, and then.
Oh,
like,
Maury.
Yes.
Or like
yes.
Jerry Springer
He's
show.
Jerry Springer,
Yes,
Jerry Springer, that's what I'm thinking of.
Jerry.
He's like.
And
Bring
the
her out.
guest is like this. All right, what again?
Let's
And the lie detector test determined that was a lie.
Anyways.
Go back to your rubber room.
No,
Your ideal.
I think in an ideal space, I wouldn't need like a full body cast, but I would like there to be layers to the room where like I could like, you know, maybe lean up against something like this if I wanted, or like sit up straight if I wanted. You know, like I need options, and in that case, I want like a lot of plush things, like a lot of pillows I could stack up and just be like. Yeah. Snack and drink wise, I can't have anything that brings me anxiety. So as much as I love coffee, I can't have it. I'm not having it, because if I'm at that point where I need the rubber room, which is frequent, I can't be drinking caffeine.
I would love all the snacks to be like all the foods I feel like I restrict myself from in the outside world.
And for what?
It's like, it's 1 or 2 days. Because I feel like it prevents you from like laying in your room for like weeks on end depressed.
Yes.
Like it gives you the option, you do it. It's the most ideal situation that it could be. And then you can leave. And then you don't feel the need to like lay in your bed. Because it's like, I just have my rubber room sesh.
Yeah. And that's a point I think we haven't mentioned yet about the rubber room, is that it is solitary.
Oh gosh.
But
you have social anxiety? Wake up at 7 a.m. and go fucking draw with crayons with 40 other people.
Literally.
Yeah, I'm good.
You're supposed to immediately trust people you don't know. You're supposed to just like it's overhead lighting where you're just like,
you know what I mean? Like that's what we love about the rubber room. It's like I'm not comparing my depression to your depression, or my anxieties to your anxieties. You're not more mentally ill than me. It's not a competition.
No, when you talk about it with other people, I feel like it's like, oh, like I need a day off. Like I need to just like be by myself.
Yeah, and they're like, you need to be by yourself?
How about me? How about me?
How about me?
How about me?
Yeah.
So why is it a competition? It shouldn't be a competition.
That's what I'm saying. If
we all have our own ideal spaces where we can take ourselves out, then there's no competition. The more that we talk about like these ideal spaces for ourselves, I believe, at least for me, it feels this way. We're destigmatizing the idea that you have to be good all the time. You have to be on. You have to be, and if you're taking a break, it's because you've literally ground yourself to the ground. But I feel like there's a stigma to people who are young, like us, where we have to work so hard to be absolutely perfect so that we could get maybe somewhere that we want to be.
And like we're too young to be feeling like overwhelmed by work. It's like, no, you're young. This is the time. You should be working as hard as you can and no days off and blah, blah, blah.
Get your fucking ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
You have to do something that like makes you money, but it's like, but I'm not happy.
Yes.
So what am I doing this for?
And in many ways, that's the rubber room.
Yeah, it is.
Maybe we have some coloring books in there.
Ooh. Crafts.
It's
all about options. If you don't want a window, you close it up. If you want it, you put it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But then I feel like
it becomes too much like a home.
And then it's just a home. At that point, it's just a home. And then we're just living in it.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's what it will come to. You don't need a rubber room. Your house is your rubber room, and the whole house. But you know what?
What?
Why can't it be?
What is like the final straw, or what is it where you're like, nah, you know what? I'm going to the rubber room this weekend.
Yeah.
You know, like what gets you there?
I think if it's like readily available to me, like not a lot.
Yeah.
I think if I go to the grocery store and like someone's rude to me, like I'm immediately coming home and going into the rubber room. Because I'm at the point now that I don't have a rubber room, that like shit's building up.
No phones in the rubber room.
No phones, no social media.
Because when I have a bad day, I'm like isolating myself in my room, going on TikTok.
Yeah, and
that's
Instagram and comparing yourself to other people.
Because then you're
just like movies, TV.
YouTube, no. I would say YouTube.
Maybe it's like a parental control.
There's
like you only can look up certain things.
Know what I eat in a day is.
Yeah, no.
Know what I eat
no
in a
workout videos.
No.
Maybe like you know, if you want to look up like an old like episode of a show, you know what I mean, like an old SpongeBob episode that you don't know where to find, you got to YouTube it. That's fine.
Fair.
If you want to listen to Gary Come Home, Gary, now you know I was wrong, I messed up, and now you're gone. Gary, I'm sorry I neglected you. Oh, I never expected you to run away and leave me feeling this empty. Your meow right now would sound like music to me. Please come home, 'cause I miss you, Gary. Gary, come home. Gary, come home. Gary, come home. And like that would change my mood so much if I could just lay in my little mold and watch that episode of SpongeBob.
Correct. Any final
reflections? Final reflections, final thoughts. Bottom line is, we need to take care of our mental health in our own way. And then today, rest in peace, Freddie Mercury. Nothing really matters. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
take a minute.
As you do.
Take care of yourself in the little ways. Get your little plushies. Get a little pillow. Light a candle.
Adopt a dog.
But only if you feel like you can take care of it. Because the last thing we used to do is get an animal and neglect it. What is the first movie you're watching on your first day in your rubber room? They moved that bus and they revealed your rubber room. You go in and you plop in. What are you putting on the TV?
That's a great question.
Thank you.
I would, and much to my parents' chagrin, my favorite movie as a child, the movie that would take me away from it all, was Cheaper by the Dozen too. The second one. Because in the first one they throw up, and that triggered me a lot when I was young, because I did end up throwing up a lot. What would be your movie? My movie would be The Goonies. Oh, nice. Because that is one of my favorite movies of all time, and I can like quote it. It's cute. It's a little spooky. It's like, I just feel like I just would want like the rain sounds in the background and watching that movie, and just like the vibe of the whole thing, the music, just like everything in that movie would just bring me joy. So that's such a vibe. That's what I would throw on my first day in the rubber room. Lovely. Thank you for watching. If you made it this far, we love you. And you matter. Be who you are. Mwah! Like, basically like the American dream.
I'm on my way from misery to happiness to be.